Next, we are going to see about correlation. In order to find out the significant change in the output. So this is the contents that we are going to see from correlation analysis. The first one is positive correlation, negative correlation, multi-parameter correlation with matrix plot, instrument correlation formula. So general term, let us see the explanation for correlation. In general term, we can define the correlation as the mutual relation between two variables which shows a significant change in the result. See, what is mutual relation? That means if you select two variables, say A and B, that means A and B has a relation. That means when A changes, there will be a proportion changes in the B. This we call it as mutual relation. Now let us see what is positive correlation. In the below example, there is a positive correlation between temperature and vapor rate. As the temperature increases, the vapor rate also increases in proportionate of 99%. That means as the temperature increases, the vapor rate is also increases. Therefore, we can say there is a correlation between temperature and the vapor rate. You can plot in Excel and you can do R square value. R square is nothing but root square value. So here the R square value is 0.997. That means 99.74 percentage. There is a correlation between temperature and vapor rate. So why we do correlation analysis? Once we know that there is a correlation, we can play with that parameter and try to achieve the required specification or required output. The next one is negative correlation. In the below example, there is a negative correlation between temperature and viscosity. That means as the temperature increases, the viscosity reduces. 99% correlation. So here this is a example of negative correlation. That means as the temperature increases, what is happening? The viscosity level is reducing. It is not increasing, but there is a strong correlation. If you see, when the temperature is 100, when the temperature is 100, the viscosity is 160. You see here, this is a viscosity. When my temperature increases to 100, my viscosity will go to 160. The next one is scattered correlation. So what is scattered correlation? In the below example, there is a scattered correlation between load and dimension. Even with the load increasing, there is no correlation with the dimension as mentioned below. So now what is happening here is, so uniformly they have gradually started increasing the load and they selected some dimension and they have plotted the R square chart. And if you see it is scattered, that means distributed unevenly. That means the load for the load and dimension there is no correlation. Correct? That means so now for example, if you see when the load is 100, the dimension is 1.2 mm. When the load is 190, still the dimension is 1.2 only. That means for this bigger change, there is no reaction in the dimension. That means there are some other parameter which is contributing to the dimension variation. So this is a scattered correlation. This correlation method we shall use for parameters and output, not for instrument approving between two. So what is the meaning of this is, now this type of correlation activity we shall do only for input parameter and output parameter to see how input is affecting the output, something like that. We cannot use it for instrument correlation. So many of the companies are using correlation R square value for instrument correlation. That is a wrong method. Why that is the wrong method? I'll tell with the live example. Say for example, there is a CMM. Okay, CMM already running in the company. Let us say CMM A. The next one is, this is your master. This is running for many years. This is your master, and you buy a new CMM. And as per the supplier, this is, I'll say it is BCMM. As per supplier, the dimension, the master calibration, everything is okay with the CMM B. Now, what you're going to take, what you're going to do, you're going to take 10 parts. You're going to take 10 parts and mark it and check the dimension for the CMM A and note down, and then check the same parts with a marked sample in the CMM B, then note down. Now you got two data. Now if you do correlation by getting the R square value, you cannot say this is a good, the CMMB is aligning with CMMA. Why? Because say for example, the CMMA is 1 mm, B is showing 0.99 mm. This is showing 2 mm, it is showing 1.99 mm. There is a major difference in CMMB, but that difference will show the equal graduation for each measurement. CMMA it is 1 mm and CMMB it is 0.9 mm. So in that case also it will show R square value 1 or more than 0.75. This is a disadvantage using correlation for approving the instrument with respect to mother instrument or previous instrument. In example 1, with the master instrument, the instrument B value is very close and hence the R square value is 1. That means in terms of this, if you see, it is only less than 10 micron variation. They're saying okay. Let us see and one more example. Now here instrument 1 is 1 mm, instrument B showing 2 mm. So this delta I is constant everywhere. Correct? See, when it is 2 mm, it is measuring 3 mm. Can you approve an instrument having 1 mm variation? But in this case, when you do correlation, still it will show 1 only, because the difference is the difference is adding for the next measurement also. So in example 2 with the master instrument, the instrument B value is very far and it is consistently same for every reading. See, that difference is adding same. There is proportionate correlation, but it will not satisfy the result. You cannot approve the instrument with this result. So this is a drawback with the correlation. We can use it to correlate between input parameters and output, but we cannot use it for instrument correlation. So next we'll see matrix plot.